Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm good, my brother. Basketball's back.
Well,
I'm really good to go.
all right, I wanted to ask you about this Nick Bosa situation at Ohio State. He decided he's going to shut it down. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He's a captain of the football team and said he's going to prepare for the draft. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's his decision. I think I never tell people they're wrong. It's his decision. I don't know the severity of his injury. I don't know how much longer he was going to be out, but I never tell people they make the wrong decision if they don't want to play. You have to make your own decisions and live with them.
I understand when these kids set out the bowl games, if it's a meaningless bowl game, and if you're going to be a top 15 pick, top 10 pick, or first-round pick, I understand that. And even this, it's a business decision that he's risking millions or might be risking millions to play the rest of the season, although it's kind of tough when they vote you as the captain and you decide that you're not going to play anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's tough to be a captain. But like I say, how much longer was he going to be out? Is he going to come back for the last 2 or 3 games?
Yeah.
You have to take in the severity of the injury. 'Cause I thought when he first got hurt, they said it was going to be out a week, and now he's been out like a month. So it's a tough decision, especially being a captain. I agree with you.
All right. Basketball, last night, 76ers and the Celtics. Is this a rivalry, Charles?
Well, I think for the next it was a great rivalry in the 80s.
Yeah.
I was privileged to be part of it. And they're going to have to play each other for the next 10 years. Because Ben and Joel are both young kids who are studs. And the Celtics got an overabundance of talent. So, yeah, it's a rivalry. And Toronto Raptors in that conversation also. But they're going to have to go through each other for the next 10 years. So I would consider the rivalry.
Yeah, it feels like the Celtics are just the better team. And even a Celtic team that didn't have Kyrie or Gordon Hayward beat the 76ers last year in the playoffs. So I think we want to make it a rivalry. I don't know if it's a rivalry yet.
Well, I think the key's listen, I've said everything about the Sixers. It's all going to come down to Markelle Fultz. Listen, Ben is going to do his thing. Joel. They went out and got Wilson Chandler, who I think going to really help them. I'm a big Wilson Chandler fan. You got Saric, but the key is going to be Markelle Fultz because he's going to have to play against, Kyrie Irving and Terry Rozier. They got to get better on the perimeter, and that's all going to be about Markelle Fultz before it can be like they're on the same level with the Celtics.
I feel bad for Fultz for a variety of reasons, but one is every time the Sixers play the Celtics are looking at Jason Tatum going, that's right. We traded to get the number 1 pick and bypass Jason Tatum.
Well, let's don't give up on Fultz yet. Listen, it's so funny us talking heads. We every time we get something right, we brag about it. And I'm not talking about you, Dan. I'm talking about just overall when I'm watching all these shows. You remember 2 years ago, everybody was talking about Jared Goff being a bust.
Yeah.
Now he's like, maybe we overreacted. Markelle Fultz has played. Listen, I'm not even going to count last year. Markelle Fultz has played 1 game this year. Let's give him a chance. It's a long season. We got 81 more games to go. A lot going to happen in the next 7 months. So the jury is still out on Markelle Fultz, but let's don't overreact. But Tatum is a stud.
Yeah. Did you ever have a moment where you lost your shot? Or you got the yips, or you went through some kind of mental period where you couldn't shoot?
No, but do you know, Dan, remember when I used to be a good golfer, when I used to just kick your ass all the time?
You did one time. Yeah,
because you were scared to play, because you're a coward. You won't come back to Tahoe. Dan, the closest thing I can think about Fultz is to what happened to my golf game. Like, I'm terrified over the ball. I got no idea what's going to happen. That's the only thing I can really compare it to. So I don't want to say he got the 100% yips, but I have the yips on the golf course, and let me tell you something. It's a terrifying thing, plain and simple.
But you went to somebody. You went to a hypnotist, right?
Yeah, all I got was a good nap. Hypnotism does not work. I tell people I woke up with the same crappy golf swing. I was so excited. I was so excited to go to a hypnotist. I woke up. I felt really good. I was really relaxed. And then I went to the golf course and had the same crappy swing.
Did you go to a therapist for this or just a hypnotist?
I went to a hypnotist. You know how at some sporting events they have those hypnotists? So I he put on a show in Phoenix one time, and I went to L.A. and spent the day with the guy. Nice guy. It's really, I guess it wasn't his fault, but it did not work. But I did get a good nap when I was there.
What is the biggest storyline this NBA regular season?
Well, I think the Eastern Conference, to me, is the biggest storyline. I mean, the Warriors are the best team in the West. I think the only team that was close to them was the Rockets, and I think they regressed losing Trevor Ariza and Luke Mabute. I think you got the three teams in the East. The Celtics got so much talent, you don't know how it's going to work. You know, people think just because you got all that talent, it's just going to flow. Yeah. It's not going to flow. You got Toronto, who's really good, and does Kawhi want to be in Toronto, or he just paying his dues until next year when he can go to the Clippers or the Lakers? And then you got the Sixers. As you saw last night, Ben Simmons is unbelievable. Yeah. But unless they get something from Markelle Fultz, they can't beat the Celtics or Toronto. So those are the three best storylines I'm going to be watching. Listen, I love LeBron. He's a great player. He's a great man. But the Lakers don't have a good team. They're not contenders, and we can't try to make them contenders.
They're going to be fun to watch, and I think the thing that I would want to guard against if I'm the Lakers front office is that you get some success and then you may want to trade for somebody to help you make a playoff push or help your position for the playoffs. And I wouldn't do anything with that roster. I would let those younger guys, be around LeBron, have them get to a point where they're not just watching him be LeBron, where they're actually equal teammates with him. And some of the older guys that they got, let's see how they hopefully rub off in a positive way with the younger kids. But what would concern you the most about the Lakers this season?
Well, what kind of team are they? Are they going to let those young guys play, or are they going to put those old guys out there? Yeah. That's why I didn't understand, because those old guys are not their future. Ball, Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, that's their future. So I don't know what the Lakers are doing. Are they going to try to groom those young guys and go forward with LeBron, or are they going to play those old guys? I think that's what's going to be the most fascinating thing. I mean, I have no idea what the Lakers are doing. Are they a young team or they're an old team? And I think that's what I'm going to be watching for the most.
Who's the first player to be traded off the Lakers?
That's a great question. I don't know because I like Ingram, I like Kuzma, I like Ball. But like I say, with all them older guys on the bench, I don't know who's going to get to play. Are they going to try to win some games with those older guys? Are they trying to build for the future with those young guys? So like I say, I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering is Lonzo Ball can he fit in with them, with LeBron? And they're going to be up tempo, and I love that. But you got a point guard who can't shoot free throws. So I just wonder, can you still have him play a big role for this team?
Well, it's interesting. We had a conversation last night with Ernie talking about the difference between Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons. I look at Ball closer to Ben Simmons than Fultz. He can't shoot, but he makes a big difference in the game. Like Ben Simmons can't shoot, but he makes he's a stud. He's a terrific player, and he's not a good shooter. And I look at Ball more in that light. Like Fultz gonna have to score to help his team win, because he's not a great passer. He's not a great defender. If he don't score, he's not gonna help the 76ers. Ball, because he's a terrific defender, he's a terrific passer, he can make a difference in the game. That's a great comparison. Like I like Ben Simmons a little bit more, But ball can make a difference in the game by all the other stuff he does, even if he can't shoot.
Talking to Charles Barkley, the Hall of Famer, NBA on TNT analyst. If you could only watch one NBA team this season, who would it be?
It might be the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I think I think they got a chance of being really good. That's not a knock on Carmelo. It just didn't fit. But going out, getting Dennis Schroeder, and going out getting Nerlens Noel, I think the Oklahoma City, there's no pressure on Paul George this year. They don't have to answer whether he wants to be there. Russ going to do what Russ does. So other than the Warriors, watching James Harden play, I got to admit, James Harden to me, I said last year, might be the most unguardable NBA player I've ever seen. Michael Jordan was obviously better. Kobe Bryant was obviously better. But from an offensive standpoint, I think James Harden is the most unguardable NBA player I've ever seen. But to answer your question, I'm probably going to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
So if I just said to Harden, go out and score, how many do you think Harden would average?
In today's NBA,
yeah.
I think he could get 50.
Wait, 50 a game?
Especially if 50 a game. Because especially if he's making his three, you can't guard him. He's going to get. The guy's going to get 15 free throws a game. I really think James Harden could average 50 points. But think about it. He's also leading the league in assists, man.
No.
The guy is unguardable, especially if he's making that. Well, when he does the moonwalk, where he gets he takes 7 steps to the left and right and shoot a three. He's unguardable.
More likely to leave Golden State after this year, Durant or Klay Thompson?
Well, I think it's got to be Durant, because to me, they're not going to be able to pay 4 guys $200 million. That's what's probably going to bring a rain and things to this, because they got to pay Klay and Draymond.
Yeah.
And you can't pay 4 guys $200 million. So I probably think Kevin will leave because, it depends on if they pay those 2 guys or those guys take hundreds of millions of dollars less, because they're all young. But like I say, you can't. If those guys, they said they don't. Now Klay said he'll take a discount. Draymond said he's not taking a discount. I don't think those guys should ever take discount. I think that's one of the stupidest things I ever heard. These teams are going to be around forever. They're all going to make billions of dollars. I think it's idiotic when I hear players say I'm going to take less money. It's crazy.
But you have Durant, though, who is overly sensitive. It feels like everything bothers him. And
yes.
And I get the feeling that he wanted to improve his spot on the list of greatest players of all time. That's why he said, nobody's going to vote for me for Defensive Player of the Year. He feels underappreciated. He feels like he's just as good as LeBron. He's overshadowed. It's not his team in Golden State. And I just think he gets one more title, and then all of a sudden he goes, all right, now I'm going to establish something on my own, and therefore, I'm going to let the NBA fans fall back in love with me because I'm going to do something great for the NBA. I'm going to leave Golden State, and I'll go to wherever, the Knicks. Can you see that as a possible scenario?
Well, I don't know if he's mentally tough enough to handle that. Good
point.
Kevin Durant is a great, great player, and he's a great, great kid. But he's got thinner skin than Flat Stanley. Can you imagine him in New York City? I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Because he gets mad. He's arguing with high school kids on Twitter. Can you imagine him arguing with the press in New York if they're not winning?
How was your summer, by the way?
Oh, Dan, you know what I do? I play golf and I fish every day. My golf still sucks, but I'm a really good fisherman. Anytime you want to go fishing, you let me know, Dan. I'll take you out there. I might try to drown you, but we'll have some fun.
Can you swim?
Dan, black people don't swim. I told you that.
Okay. I just want to make sure I like to go fly fishing. So I'm actually.
I haven't learned to do that yet. Somebody told me I should learn to go fly fishing, but I haven't mastered that yet.
It's so much more difficult than it looks. I think everybody watched that Brad Pitt movie, A River Runs Through It, and said, oh my gosh, that looks like it's so much fun. It's It's so tough. But when you get it and you can sort of navigate without putting it in the trees, it's just different. It's a lot of fun. You put the waders on, you go in there, and that's how men fish, Charles. Not like you do, where you just have a cane pole and a bobber, and then you have a 6-pack of beer.
Hey, well, Dan, let me tell you this. Oh, I have cigars too. But let me tell you this, Dan.
Yeah.
I will bet you.
Oh, here we go.
$5,000 going to our favorite charity. I'll bet you that Brad Pitt has not been near a fishing pole since that movie. That was just for the movie. Listen, I don't even know Brad Pitt, but I guarantee you he's not fished a day in his life since that movie.
I'm not going to take that bet.
Okay.
You could be right. But I'm just saying, maybe I'll go fishing with you one time. Because I know even in my condition, my health condition, I could still beat you at golf.
Dan, listen, I think I'm out of my slump right now.
No.
Dan, anytime you want to play golf, you come on out to Arizona and you let me know, brother. You can stay at the Barkley compound. We're good to go.
All right. How many bedrooms? Because I want to bring the Danettes, and I still want to do a show from your backyard, from the pool area, and then we bring in all your friends from Arizona, and we do a show there. How many bedrooms?
4 bedrooms, but I'm going to put you in the guest house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put you in the guest house because, in case you might have some bad habits, I'm going to put you in the guest house.
Well, what about the Danettes?
Well, listen, those guys are nerds. They're not going to do anything wrong. I guarantee you. They all probably go to bed about 9 o'clock at night. They're good dudes.
Okay. All right. So they're in the main house.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Keep stirring it up there. Always great to check in with you. We'll talk soon.
Hey, man, keep up the great work, you guys. I mean, it's a great time with all the stuff going on right now.
It is.
Basketball, football, baseball.
Whole lot of fun. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks for having me.
That's Charles Barkley.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.